YouTube, what's up, man? This is Matt Rockefeller. Hope y'all having a great day. As y'all can see, I'm in a big old field under a beautiful tree that's giving me some pretty nice shade, man. But let me see if I can plop y'all down. Okay, perfect, man, cool. Signs of a spiritual awakening. Now, guys, before we hop into this video, I do want to say that obvious disclaimer. I am in no way, shape, or form a spiritual teacher, a spiritual guru, a spiritual enlightened being. I'm merely just someone who's had a spiritual awakening. I'm someone who shifted from a compulsive state of mind to a conscious state of mind. And I'm someone who recognizes that, hey, there's more than just this physical reality that we exist on. So a spiritual awakening can happen for a number of reasons. I know a lot of y'all are on NoFap and SR right now, and believe it or not, you're doing something spiritual withholding your seed. But in this video, I wanted to share with you a little bit about my story and some of the signs that I experienced that you could also experience too as well, okay? So the first thing I want to talk to y'all about is what happened with me. So what had happened was that how I knew I had my spiritual awakening was I tried to quit nicotine. I quit nicotine in like June this year. And it was very hard for me. It was a 7-year habit for me. And long short is that my body was like super stressed. My body was super stressed and it was flipped upside down and it was trying to find a new way to cope since nicotine can no longer be the coping mechanism. So what it was I had found that my new stress mechanisms were meditation, ironically enough, and going out for nature walks and stuff like that, right? Now, guys, this transition felt so natural. Meditation, what I had found, helped cure some of the nicotine withdrawal or nicotine urges, and I always felt like relaxed and calm afterwards. But little do I know, after I started meditating, I started to develop an acute sense of intuition. I started to really trust my gut a lot of the time, and little did I know that I was further improving the mind, body, life, energy, soul connection throughout myself. Like I was finally getting all parts of my body on the same page. And what this did for me was that this changed my mindset from a compulsive state of mind, which is, someone who just does whatever they want to do. They wake up with not really a whole lot of thought. It's based off habit. To someone with a conscious state of mind, someone who is every step is taken for the right reason. Every step and every action has a purpose. It's backed for a certain thing. And that's when we started to get crazy. So for y'all, man, who are doing a lot of NoFap, SR, retention, sun gazing, stuff of that nature, you might start to develop an acute sense of intuition. You really start to trust your gut. It's a trust your gut feeling. You're following it. And you might start to develop an acute sense of awareness of things. You're present, you're centered, you're conscious. Does that make sense? But yeah, another one too that's important was that when I was going through my spiritual awakening, I had started to develop, I loved going out in nature. What I've discovered was that I had become not only aware and intuition wise, but my acute sense of sensitivity. Like I had really noticed the colors in the trees. I really noticed the squirrels, the animals. Like I had felt the feeling of one, that we all came from the same energy source. We all came from the same God, the same universe, whatever you want to label it as, but we are all one. No labels in it. We're all just one. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I really started to develop like that acute sense of understanding and stuff of that nature. What this did for me was I was kind of overwhelmed with a lot of the information that I was receiving, with a lot of the intuition that I was giving, that I started to chase a lot of information. I wanted to acquire as much information as I could. So what this did for me was, I wanted to be alone a lot of the time. First of all, I wanted to be comfortable with myself and become in tune with myself. But I started to watch videos, started to read books, started to, meditate. I wanted to go within. I found myself constantly asking myself these questions, what do I want to do? And I just kept going within a lot of the time. I would just recommend, since that we're all on our own spiritual awakening, we're on our own individual journey, I would recommend that you do what you do, and that's go within. Find the answers for yourself. Another sign that you could be having like a spiritual awakening is you'll start to identify spiritual energy. And what I mean by spiritual energy is that you'll start to recognize that, like, hey, like we are in currently a huge ocean of energy. And just because our physical senses can't detect it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's the same with a dog whistle. Just because our ears can't pick up on a dog whistle doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We know it does exist because dogs react to it and stuff of that nature, right? So when you understand that everything is energy and that you've been attracting and unattracting, good and bad, whatever you want to call it, you really start to understand the power of your thoughts and the power of your feelings. You really start to be mindful about what you say and what you think and what you feed your mind. This is part of you becoming conscious. You're aware of these things. So you're mindful of what you feed your brain. You're mindful of what you feed your body. You're mindful of what you listen to. You know, you could want to listen to new music. That's another sign too. I found myself starting to listen to like Japanese rock, which is really cool. I was very conscious with what I was feeding my mind now, because I recognize like, like this actually can affect me. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, as you start to recognize spiritual energy, you start to recognize that, hey, like you've been attracting good and you've been attracting bad, or whatever you want to call it. Everything is inherently neutral though. But yeah, you attract what you are. As above, so below. You are, your outer world reflects your inner world. So I know I've been kind of everywhere, man, but I do want to wrap it up for you. So the signs that I experienced, guys, were just, I found myself being extremely intuition, a lot of awareness, a lot of sensitivity, especially in nature. I wanted to be out in nature. I wanted to be alone because I wanted to understand myself. I found myself going within a lot, and I made my mind, body, life, energy, soul all in the same direction, all on the same page. So this made me very conscious, made me very present, made me very aware, made me very knowing of stuff of that nature. And I wanted to become in tune with myself. So that's my experience, man. Let me know down below what thoughts you guys are, y'all are experiencing, or y'all are having, stuff of that nature. Anyways, I'm out of here. Hope you're having a great day. Deuces.